I'm curious about what do you can you talk a little bit about like the significance of having uh these associations being led by Black presidents and the type of impact that this could and should have on the profession moving forward?
Yeah, thank you. Well, the significance is, again, there's only been a few before us.
Hmm.
For instance, with DRI, I tell people, when the first African American president, which is Cheryl Willard, uh, when she became president, it was an occasion, a historic celebration of the first time.
Hmm.
When Toyja Kelly became president, it was an affirmation that it could happen again. When I became president, the third one, now all of a sudden, it is a habit. It is something that young attorneys of color can look at and say, I can absolutely do this. It is not a fluke. It is not a unique situation.
Hmm.
So the minute you get to number 3 and beyond, it is something that can absolutely occur. And that's what me as number 3 represents. Well, when you go to the AAJ and the Van Ward Jr. is number 2, and there's a person coming up behind him that will be number 3, then that's the same thing. So there can be more people of color who will be president of the plaintiff's bar. And for the ABA, Reginald Turner is number 4,
Wow.
which means it is a habit. It is something that can just happen. The door of opportunity is wide open. And so when you look at us and what we're doing individually in our organizations, it says that the door of opportunity for people of color is wide open. And people can come from the rank and file and work their way to be presidents of these organizations if they make the commitment and if they have a little bit of luck too, because it does take some luck. There is a certain amount of politics involved, and not in a negative way, but people have to like you and trust, believe that you can be someone who can lead this organization. And that's the political aspect, is because they have to see in you and interact with you enough to believe that you can be that leader to run the organization. And I was fortunate enough that there were enough people who believed that about me that allowed me to do it. And so then when you put 4 of us together in the 4 largest bar organizations, what it says is that there were people in each of our respective organizations who believed enough in us that they felt we could run and lead these organizations into the future. And what's really amazing is we're all presidents trying to lead our organizations into a post-COVID world. So we are really, our leadership is one of leading into the future. And I don't know that people necessarily thought of us that way when they put us in line to be the president of our organizations, but it happened to be that way. And so to me, it's even more of something to be proud of, because there's at one time 4 African Americans leading the 4 major bar organizations into a post-COVID world.